Hello, this is Dr. Do again. This video is outside of medicine, continue with about a historical event or novels or landmark or historical figures. Today I'm going to talk about something that I have been thinking but not know deep. So I'm just going to touch fundamental, very basic, just like the skin or hair, or just like the dragonfly skipping on the water. Very, very superficial. So what is the topic I'm going to talk about is ethical foundation of the culture. So this is really tracing back from Confucius and also Meng, another person. They have Confucius and Meng is one streaming down the idea, and the other one is Lao Tzu. It's in the Taoism. So this is the foundation. Actually, before that, there was another historical figure. It's called Huangdi. Actually, this Huangdi is the emperor of the yellow, or the goddess or god of yellow, probably. But I think it's probably emperor of yellow, because the other emperor of the first Qin dynasty is called emperor of the king. The Huang is different. And this Huangdi refers to yellow, so the emperor of the yellow, that's a long time ago, thousand years. He is the founding foundation of the culture. He developed the heaven, the earth, and also the 5 elements, and the balance, and the equilibrium, the idea. And the Lao Tzu, Taoism, was further, I think, extended or further developed that idea. So is the Confucius and Meng. They both derived their theories based on the Huangdi, the most Fuxi. Actually, he has another name called the Fuxi. So it's basically based on that theory and branching out. So basically, Confucius and Meng emphasize the human behavior, talk about the righteousness, the kindness, the discipline, the wisdom, and also the faithfulness, the loyalty. So this kind of, and then the Taoism, Lao Tzu, talk about the balance, equilibrium between inside of the human being, between the humans, and between the civilian and the conqueror or the authorities, and between the natures and between the nature and the humans. So this is about the Taoism. I think from my understanding, I never know too much, but just so these are the fundamental difference between the Taoism and also the Confucius and the Meng. So this is about the foundation, from that, derived from that. That's where the cultures, the ethical standard established. I think pretty much on the Confucius and Meng is emphasizing human behavior, how through this 5 important principles, so human can maintain the balance among the human, or find the peace inside of the human heart, and also find the peace or equilibrium between human nature, and maintain the balance of the nature. So that's about the Confucius and the Meng. So I have talked about the 5 major principles about Confucius and Meng. And the Taoism, Lao Tzu, he emphasized the nature element, the gold, the wood, the water, and the fire, and also the soil, earth. So these 5 elements, like circling in the air, in the universe, and the balance between these 5, that's the core, the kernel, the center to maintain the balance of everything. At the same time, he has the 8 signs associated with this 5 element, and then divided, but everything, this 5 elements or 8 signs was in one circle. That circle refers to the balance of the heaven and the earth and the universe. So we, as human beings, along with other dwellings or along with the nature growth, belong to this circle, inside of this circle. So this is the fundamental idea, principle of Taoism. From my understanding, Taoism has a really broad, wider idea, coverage of the human thought, not just the human behavior, but also connected to the nature, the five elements, like the gold, the wood, the water, the fire, and also the soil of the earth. And on the other hand, a lot of descendants from Taoism, actually a lot of stories or historical, eventually become conflict with the Buddhism. And later on, I think in Tang Dynasty start to introduce another religion called Buddhism. So this Buddhism and also the Taoism start to have hold a different opinion. And in the history, or a lot of movies, a lot of stories or legend, you can see the people believe in Taoism and people believe in Buddha had a lot of conflict. I couldn't see the details because I do not know much about Buddhism. If you recall, there's the book called The Journey to the West. They went to get the Buddhism, but I think even nowadays the Buddhism, the book of Buddhism is not translated. It's just the pronunciation. We did not know exactly what it means. So that's why I couldn't tell more about Buddhism. But just from the history, from the movie, or from the legend, we can see they always kind of conflict and fight together because the Taoism emphasized when they emphasize the balance between the nature and the human, and between the human, inside of human, between the human society, the high and the low. So a lot of movies picture the Taoism as to maintain the authorities, to work for the authorities, kind of in the negative view. So that's why it's just from the movie or from the novels or from the legend. But anyway, I just bring up three of the fundamental culture in terms of foundation, ethical foundation for the culture. So the purpose for this video is to share my understanding and to bring this idea. So if you're interested to find what is the foundation of the nation, the culture, the people, you probably can look deep into these three streamings, three branches, and then to find the fundamental belief or fundamental culture and knowing the people. So anyway, basically, fundamentally, like we grown up, everybody just the fundamental culture principle, ethical principles are hardworking, be kind, be nice, and be gentle. So that's the fundamental principle we inherit from our parents or from our ascendants. So that's probably for majority of the people holding this kind of culture. But anyway, I'm going to stop here and hope it just give you some idea or trigger your interest to search more. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.